Rents are just absolutely sky high right now. And why? Why is it so crazy out there? What is going on? If you're someone that's renting or maybe looking to buy a home, you've probably been asking yourself this question and you've been left wondering about what is going on and probably really weighing the decisions about whether it makes sense to buy or to rent right now. Like pretty much just every other person on the planet, you want a better financial future. There's no doubt about that. You want to do the most intelligent thing with your money, and you don't want to have to work for the rest of your life because that sucks and that's kind of scary. You want to invest wisely because you probably don't always want to be a renter. Maybe it makes sense right now, but every day that goes by, it's starting to make a little less and less sense. Today's video is really all about, is it actually cheaper to rent right now, or does it make more sense to buy a home? I'm going to give you some thoughts at the end of the video to help you feel empowered on how to make a right decision and give you some tips to get you started in the right direction. And before you run away to the next video over in YouTube land, you want to hang around to the very end of the video because we're going to give you access and let you know how you can get access to our quiz we created on buying a home, where most home buyers can't even get more than 8 out of 10 of these questions right. So we'll let you know how to get that. We'll let you know how to get the answers. And there's 2 really cool bonuses that you get after filling out the quiz if you want them. So anyways, let's jump into it. What's good, everybody? It's Darian German from the German Group, where we know you've only got one chance to either buy or sell your next home. So we're here to help you get it right. There's a subscribe button that's going to float around somewhere on the screen here, and we want you to smash that to subscribe to our channel. And the reason for that is because we try to bring you guys really good content at least twice a week on how to make you either a better home owner, a better home buyer, or a better home seller, more specifically in the areas that we service of South Surrey, White Rock, and Surrey, BC. So do us a solid and subscribe, and we'll keep making great content for you. Deal? Deal. Well, you cannot escape the news. You can't not escape the media that's going on everywhere, whether it's in the newspaper or on your iPad as you scroll through the news feed, or even on the evening news about what is going on with rents and why they are so darn expensive. And it's not just in Vancouver or Surrey or White Rock. It's all across Canada. Obviously Toronto and Vancouver got their own things going on, but this is something going on coast to coast, and it's just getting to be too much for so many people. You might be asking yourself, is it just the mortgage rates that is really doing this? Is this really what's having the biggest impact on rents being so high? And while it does have influence on what's going on with the mortgage rates, there's a lot more at play than just that. If you're watching this video from my local neighborhood, you know that the net migration into the lower mainland of BC is crazy. Lots of people want to live here from all across Canada. So there's always people moving into the lower mainland because, it's sunny and beautiful and warm outside today, and it's February. We've also got universities and college campuses all over the lower mainland. So there's lots of people that want to come here specifically because we're in a big city and they want to be close to school. Workforce is also getting younger. There's many new younger people getting into the workforce, starting to find their permanent jobs and their permanent careers because those millennials are now working age and they're getting into their jobs. So they need to relocate for work oftentimes, but they usually need to live close to the bigger cities. And the last one that you may or may not have thought about is, as of now, since of January of the start of this year, non-Canadians can't buy a home anymore. There's a 2-year ban on them being able to purchase property in BC. So all of these are factors and are pushing people into the rental pool. We did a video on this a few weeks back called Why Investors Are Paying Attention Again. And if you didn't watch it, you should go check it out because there is some incredible information in there, more specifically on what has happened with rents. It's all about why investors are watching the market, of course, but they are starting to come back in waves, purchasing up properties all across the lower mainland. And one of the biggest reasons is, of course, rents are so high. I even go in that video and I talk a little bit about what has happened year over year with some of the rental rates across different areas of South Surrey, Surrey, and White Rock. The first example I used in that video was the cost of a 1-bedroom rental in White Rock and how it's gone up about 64% year over year and is now renting for almost $2,300 for a one bedroom in White Rock, according to the real estate rental website Zumper. 64% more expensive year over year. I want you to imagine how significant that is. That means if someone was renting a one bedroom 1 year ago in the city of White Rock and they had to move for whatever reason, let's say the owner wanted to reoccupy the home or they sold it and the person they sold it to wanted to move into the home and they had to go and they had to find a new rental just 1 year later, they are paying a 64% increase from the year before on what new rent might be for a similar property. That is insane. So this leaves us with the question, is it actually a better time to buy a home than it is to rent a home? Now, we know that the prices have gone down since the peak of the markets in about the spring of this year. And if you're a regular watcher of this YouTube channel, I talk about that all the time. But does it make more sense now to actually buy rather than be a renter and keep giving your money to the landlord? And I know what you're thinking. You're sitting there going, the rates, Darren. The rates are so expensive and it's so expensive now. It used to be so cheap and I should have done it back then and I waited too long. You need to forget about the rates. The rates were at a point years ago where they were in emergency level territory and they've been raised up to a point where historically is quite comfortable and quite normal. The likelihood of them going back down to where they were is probably likely quite minimal unless something really significant happens in the economy or across the world. So the rates are what they are. You got to get over it. And the best news is if the rates are to go down, then you can refinance your mortgage and save on your monthly payment. So stop letting the rates dictate whether you move forward with your home purchase or your life in general. That doesn't mean it's the right time for you to buy right now, but don't let the rates hold you up, okay? I'm sorry, I had to get that off my chest. Let's move on. Here's an example of what you can buy right now in South Surrey if you had roughly $500,000 to spend. This is a beautiful 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom unit in a rain screen building, very central, very close to walking to all the amenities that what I call downtown White Rock has to offer near the Semiahmoo Shopping Center area. To buy this home today, you need about $50,000 in down payment. If you were to get a fixed mortgage rate of in and around the current going fixed mortgage rates of 4.6% for a 25-year mortgage, your payments are going to end up being about $2,236 each month. Not bad, right? And I know there's strata fees and I know there's property tax, but hey, you're owning your property. You're putting money from your mortgage payments into your property every single month that you eventually get to own. And for those of you that think the rates are crazy high, well, they might be high compared to where we were. Over the life of the loan, you're going to pay, based on what I just said, almost $270,000 in interest payments. But here's the really scary thing. If you continue on with the life of renting for the next 25 years, forget paying $270,000 worth of interest over the life of a 25-year mortgage. You're going to pay $720,000 in rent to the landlord. They could buy 2 of these properties and you would be left with nothing at the end of the day. Nothing at the end of the day. That's not good. Jumping back onto the real estate website Zumper, we can see that there are 1-bedroom and a few 2-bedrooms in the South Surrey White Rock area that are going in far excess of $2,200 a month. Some as high as almost $2,500 each month just for rent. The lowest one currently available is only $2,000 per month. That is insane. It's really funny if you think about it too, because there really hasn't been as good of a time in history to buy a home than there has been probably in the last 15 years compared to today. And I know I'm a realtor, so you're all thinking, well, he's just trying to get us to buy something. But hear me out before you make that judgment call. Stop doing what everybody else does. Let me explain. You've got people that are buying a home and you've got people that are selling homes. And you know what? Those are competing interests. A buyer cannot win and a seller cannot win at the same time. A seller cannot lose and a buyer cannot lose at the same time because they're competing against each other. This means if it's a bad time to sell a home, it's probably a good time to buy. That means if it's a bad time to buy a home, it's probably a good time to sell. If you are someone looking to get into the market, you're coming out of an environment where it was a really bad time to buy. when the prices were skyrocketing and people were going into multiple offers on absolutely everything and paying way over the asking price to get into a place, that's not a great environment to purchase. You can't even really look at a bunch of homes because you have to worry about the next one being worth $30,000 to $50,000 more than the one that you could have written an offer on today. It's not good. Fast forward to today, everything's on sale. These properties are down, in most cases, probably over 10%. You imagine if you wanted to buy absolutely anything, let's use a car as an example, and you see this one dealer running around with a sign that says everything is 10 to 15% off, you would jump on that in a heartbeat. But instead, what most home buyers are doing is they're sitting on their hands and they're waiting, and they're going to wait till the market starts going up again to say it's a good time to buy again. This is going to be at the same exact time that a seller goes, it's a good time to sell again. Competing interests. You've got a housing shortage across the country. You've got crazy amounts of historically high immigration due to come to Canada in the next few years, and none of those people can even buy a home. They can only rent. Building massive condo developments and townhouse developments takes a lot of time, a lot of planning, a lot of permits, a lot of red tape, and again, a lot of time. None of that is happening overnight. Me personally, I am so convicted in this that this is the route to go if you are someone that's renting. I, in fact, myself am going to be documenting my experience trying to locate and find and purchase a rental property in the next few months, which I'll be making available on this YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe because you'll get to see all of that really fun adventure that I'm about to have. I hope it's fun anyway. We'll see. So what do you think? What do you think is the best option right now? Do you think I'm getting it right? Do you think this is good advice? Do you think you should rent right now? Or do you think it's better to buy right now? Be sure to leave your comments in the section below because I genuinely want to know what people like you think about renting versus buying right now. And maybe let me know too why you're making the decision that you're making. What my hope is for you after watching this video is that I got you thinking. And I hope next steps for someone that is maybe renting or looking at buying is you're going to engage with your financer or your mortgage broker, and you're going to have a conversation about what you're doing with your money right now in renting versus what you could be doing with it when you buy a property. At least this way, you can get another opinion and you can learn your numbers about what your affordability might look like and then make a really good decision if this is in fact a good time to buy for you. Just because I say it's a good time to buy doesn't mean that's right for everyone. So once you know your numbers, you'll have a really good idea of whether it makes sense, and take a look at the opportunity going out there because there is a lot of it right now. I mentioned at the start of the video a really cool quiz that we have, which is in the description below, where if you are someone thinking of buying a home, fill out the quiz and see how many answers you get right, because it is packed with questions and also answers that you want to know when you're getting serious about buying a home. And there's two really cool bonuses that you get as part of that you'll see when you jump onto the website. So if you're interested, check it out. And while you're down in the description, if you are someone that is either looking at buying or selling a home in the areas that the German group services, whether that's in Surrey or surrounding areas, we'd love to have a conversation with you and help set you off on the right foot. So whatever your endeavors are, you're going to do a really good job at it. Hey, look, everybody, I'm Darren German from the German Group. I want to thank you for subscribing. I want to thank you for watching. And hey, you know what? You've only got one chance to either buy or sell your next home. So we're glad you're watching because we want to help you get it right. We'll see you on the next video, and take care for now.